All right. Live from the wasteland outside of the survival. This is Freedom Phil. I don't want to talk about people who say lucky break or hope or prayer and all that shit. This is what generally losers do, or really successful people do, because they know if they actually told you how simple what they did was. I mean, maybe there was some hard work that people would just get mad or act like you're a smug asshole. Yeah, where am I going with this? Freedom Phil, like, subscribe, and remember to turn up the video speed. And why do I always say that? Because, hey, man, if I upload this, watch it at 1.75. Video's faster. Let's get into it. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. New parameter of the channel. If you show up and say the word hi or something, like when you should just be leaving a comment, I probably will refer to you as a robot or a retard, because that's generally what you people are. Most of my fans, retards. A few of them, actual interesting people. Try to be some of the interesting people. Try to change your fate. And let's get into that topic. Yeah, as some people know, this isn't a channel for children. I've heard my whole life, well, that guy got a lucky break. Most of the time in life, that's not true. Now, you could argue, hey, you were born in America. That's a pretty lucky break compared to all the other places in the world you could have been born. There's a lot of truth to that. But you could also argue in some of those second and third world countries, if your parents were fucking idiots, much like a lot of the people on Section 8 in America, then yes, you're probably going to have a harder start than most people. But you do see people who legitimately come to America in one form or another, or some Western prosperous country, and they make themselves into millionaires or multimillionaires. And the funny thing is about it is that we'll hear these success stories and like, they'll still hear people say, well, that guy got a lucky break. I don't know. That person probably had things on extreme hard mode, and yet they still beat the odds. How much of beating the odds in life is really not so much with luck, but you're prepared for the opportunities that finally show up to your life? Because that's the thing I notice a lot of people just fail to recognize. Like, I've seen people talk about, you know, like, well, how are you able to save this money? Or how are you able to do this? Or like, a relative of mine, she's a genius of real estate. She didn't become a genius on real estate. You know, just like, oops, that just, you know, came out of the stars or the birth lottery canal or anything. No, she had to study to become really good at it, to be able to spot a deal. In the same way that another individual I know, between his father teaching him electric, him eventually teaching himself plumbing, and doing HVAC over the years, that man can build a house from the dirt to the sky. Now, if he saw a remodel, he could look at a place. He could see what's going to cost a lot, what's going to be affordable, and he could accomplish it because of his skills. There's no luck about that. There was years of work and to get to the point where he could do these things. Now, the average observer, the lazy individual, the mentally lazy, you know, your common borns, they will look at a situation and say, well, that guy's just lucky. Anybody could have done those two examples, could have studied, learned, saved their money, and basically set themselves up for success. My situation, where basically if I drive truck and I live as a minimalist, you know, $3,000 to $5,000 a year, making 80 to 100K a year, no state income tax. Yes, every year I can put away the type of money that most of you only fucking dream of. And because I know how to find cheap property, if I decide to buy a house ever again, I still have one I'm going to sell eventually, then I could basically go and work 1 year and pay cash for it. Yes, in the Midwest you can find houses. It's a matter of knowing how to find things. There's no luck about it. Another thing that people say, poor people, moronic people, stupid people, I hope things get better. Hope is like relying off lady luck. Hope is what you do when you don't have a plan. Hope is like praying. Well, let the gods do it for me. Now, sometimes in life there are those cases like you really did actually like have real bad luck. Something like statistically completely an anomaly happens. But most of the things in life you can actually calculate. You can look at it. If someone drinks and then they choose to drive, there could be some bad outcomes from that. If someone decides to have a bunch of condom-free sex with a bunch of women, well, maybe they'll have some oops babies. No oops about it. These were choices. Or even worse, they catch an STD. There's no luck about this. And just hoping everything will be all right. And say, some people have said I'm a pessimist. I am not a pessimist. I'm just a practical person. You see, I'm pragmatic. I merely simply look at the problems that could be a problem and actually eliminate them before they ever become a thing. That isn't pessimistic. No, it's practical. I find a lot of optimists in the world. YOLO, man. It's all good. Doesn't matter. Inevitably, what happens to these people when they fuck up, a lot of these people may have been king shit in high school, or maybe even they had a little bit of college, but then they end up as the Al Bundys of the world, which, by the way, love that show, Married with Children, but let's be honest about it. How often is it that it's a lack of someone's preparation doing anything, and frankly, they're fucking lazy, horny, and stupid, that why they end up stuck in a bad situation? Now, it could be argued, in the past, for instance, the boomers, not everything was totally sweet for them either. Some of them got drafted to Vietnam, and there were some recessions. But if you're a poor boomer in this modern age, it's because you made the choice to do nothing. At least in America, you chose to do little, if nothing, with your opportunities. There was lots of money to be made, lots of opportunities to be had, interest rates that were kind of crazy at different times, but housing that was affordable. If you have managed to still be broke as fuck, after all what can be argued is the greatest era to ever exist, this wasn't a matter of luck. This was a matter of choice. And inevitably, this leads back to prayer. People praying, they're trying to it's like praying to God is like, puffing on the dice. Hey, lady luck. Prayer is a latch-ass effort for people who have no fucking plan. And sometimes I understand it is a crutch that keeps you going. Truth be known, it's a crutch that keeps you going. And maybe that's good. Maybe the people that are of lower IQ or even high IQ and somehow retardedly illogical, this keeps them going. But I got to be honest about it. If you're praying to an invisible entity in the sky or pantheon of gods or what the fuck ever, hoping your life's going to get better, it sounds like you're not really doing much with yourself. If anything could really help you is basically learning, one, how to make money, how to not spend money first and foremost. Learn to be a minimalist, learn to save your money, and learn to invest when you're young. And if you have other people around you and you all can network and work together, because this is how the rich really get rich, like you see those communities here and there. I don't care what group it is. Magic tribe from the desert, third worlders coming to America and working with their own. You watch how quickly with them networking together, because they become the plumbers, the electricians, and eventually they become the lawyers and the doctors. They become the city councilor people. They take active roles in making sure that they and them and their community do better. Meanwhile, and much as the example, we could go back to the Old West when the Transcontinental Railroad was being made. It was noted that the American workers, the Western, European American workers, generally would work real hard, but then get drunk semi-regularly, as were the Asians, who basically came across the sea to either find gold or make money and then go back as wealthy men to their country. Some stayed, some didn't. They noted that when they got done working, they didn't get drunk. They would save their money, maybe have a little tea, eat some dinner, and be fresh and ready to work the next day. Now, of the two examples, if you have a multi-generational situation of people being drunk all the time, drunk all the time or actually making money, grandfather was a gardener, dad went to college or trades or whatever, it doesn't have to be college, but dad applied himself, grandpa worked as hard as he could. By the third generation, you can see people that have actually structured their lives to be the owners and operators of society. City councilors, mayors, potential political individuals. These things don't happen as a matter of luck. They don't happen because you prayed your way into it. You make an active choice to make something of yourself. And if you don't have what it takes to do that, okay, be the Al Bundys of society. If you just want to, eat good, have lots of sex and whatnot, I don't blame you. That's what we're geared for. Thousands of years of evolution didn't tell us to not enjoy life. But understand, your own desires, your own existence is your own enemy. That which you want can control you. That which you wish to consume will consume you. It's not even hard to understand. And if anything, our society is designed to basically, how do I put this? It's there to make money off of those desires. You could see this in the public schools on a regular basis. Public schools, where they basically teach you little if nothing for X amount of years, what do you get for that? 13 years of education, and yet someone walked across the border basically has equal, if not better skills than you. And in that situation, what's the culture that you generally see? Now, I'm not saying we should go back to, you know, oh, don't dirty dancing and all that. No, what I'm saying is the culture is basically hypersexualized and stupid. Your attention span is basically that of a fucking gnat these days. Over 15 seconds and people eyes are rolling. That is how low quality you have been raised to be. As Marilyn Manson said ages ago, raised to be stupid, taught to be nothing at all. And the results of that are you'll take quick, easy pleasure every time. This is why a lot of poor people stay poor. No strategy, no thoughts, just YOLO, it feels good. And inevitably, in the end, a lot of the YOLO, it feels goods really are like that funny meme of it says, yeah, look, YOLO, and it shows a woman passed out with someone who took a shit on her head. That is what you're manufacturing your life into. So that's just some thoughts. Freedom Phil, like, subscribe. Always turn up the video speed, and hey, take it easy. Let's see this comment. Hey, somebody said hi. Remember what I said? People that say hi instead of having an actual comment, retards. Always some retards. And why do I say that? Because it's the most generic, brainless, robotic thing. In fact, this individual that said hi might just be a robot. Robots and retards, that's most of the internet. Peace.